Todd McCarthy named Durham's Conservative candidate. Dan Kearns, local journalism initiative reporter for The Standard. Durham. The Durham provincial riding will have a new Conservative candidate when voters go to the polls in early June. The party recently announced they have chosen Todd McCarthy as their 2022 election candidate. Todd is a well-respected and established lawyer in Durham and across Ontario. Todd is the senior partner at Flaherty McCarthy LLP, has also served part-time as a deputy judge presiding over small claims court cases at the Durham Region Courthouse, and was president of the Durham Region Law Association. He also served as a trustee and vice chair of the Durham Catholic District School Board, read a Progressive Conservative Party press release. Mr. McCarthy replaces previously elected MPP Lindsay Park on the ballot, following her resignation from the party last year. MPP Park is still currently an independent MPP. I am incredibly honored to join Doug Ford and the entire PC team who are working hard to protect our progress and will build the best Ontario for our families and future generations. Read a statement from Mr. McCarthy.
Conservative Party removes Aaron OToole as leader. Dan Kearns, local journalism initiative reporter for The Standard. Durham. The Conservative Party of Canada has chosen to remove their leader and have announced the choice of Candice Bergen as their interim leader. Erin O'Toole was the party's third leader since Stephen Harper stepped down. Previous leaders include Andrew Scheer and former interim leader Rona Ambrose. In late January, Aaron OToole took to Twitter to defend his leadership and call for a final vote from party members. There are two roads open to the Conservative Party of Canada. One is the road of Randy Hillier and Derek Sloan. It is angry, negative, and extreme. It is a dead end, one which would see the Party of Confederation become the NDP of the right. The other road is to better reflect the Canada of 2022. To reorganize, conservatism is organic, not static, and a winning message is one of inclusion, optimism, ideas, and hope. There is a report tonight of members of the Conservative caucus who are unsure of what road to take. They are, it is said, bringing a letter to caucus to trigger a vote on my leadership of the party. Good. I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not turning back. Canada needs us to be united and serious. It is time for a reckoning, to settle this in caucus, right here, right now, once and for all, the Post read. Recently, on Wednesday, February 2nd, the Conservative Party caucus voted to remove Durham MP Erin O'Toole as the leader and hold a leadership race again. Later that day, in a social media video post, Aaron OToole announced his resignation as leader of the party. This afternoon, I stepped down as leader of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition and leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, following a Reform Act vote in our caucus. It was an honour of a lifetime to lead the party of Sir John A. Macdonald and Confederation, he said. As he departed the leadership, Aaron OToole also provided some input for the party going forward. I love both the country and my party too much to not comment. This country needs a Conservative Party which is both an intellectual force and a governing force. Ideology without power is vanity. Seeking power without ideology is hubris. Canadians deserve a government that delivers exemplary management, he explained. He added he would continue to serve as Durham's Member of Parliament, MP. I will never stop serving Canada.
Brock Township starts deliberations on final budget for this term of council. Dan Kearns, local journalism initiative reporter for The Standard. Brock. The Township of Brock started deliberations of their 2022 municipal operating and capital budgets on Monday, February 7th. At that budget meeting, councillors saw a budget which included a proposed 3.91% tax increase. If that were to be approved, it would mean a $54 increase on the municipal side of the tax bill for the average taxpayer. In his opening remarks, Ward 3 councillor and Finance Committee Chair Walter Schumer noted this would be the last budget to be deliberated and eventually approved by this term of council. Our staff has had a very tumultuous year of change and transition. We're operating with an interim CAO and interim treasurer, both of whom have done an excellent job of keeping this council on track. Councillor Schumer said. He added, the Township has also seen changes in their key departments. We've had a very difficult set of circumstances handed to us with the ongoing pandemic, he explained. The Ward 3 councillor said this budget represents us getting back to work outside of COVID-19. However, he also cautioned councillors about being careful with spending because upper levels of government may soon be looking at trying to balance their future budgets. We've seen unprecedented levels of spending in the past 2 years due to COVID-19. Another famous saying is, all good things must end. We must keep in mind that someday down the road, the senior levels of government are going to want to attempt to balance their books again. Municipal funding is a huge part of the provincial budget, which may come under pressure in the future. Province seeking advice on designing benefits plan tied to workers, not employers. Harry Godfrey, Office of the Ministry of Labour, Training and Skills Development. The Ontario government is seeking advice on designing a plan which provides workers with benefits such as health, dental, and vision care, even if they change jobs. Currently, millions of people, including those working in retail, the gig, entertainment, economy, and hospitality, have limited to no benefits coverage. To start, the government intends to create and appoint an advisory panel to recommend a system, making Ontario the first province in Canada to pursue such a comprehensive benefits program. Whether you're bussing tables, working the cash, or giving rides, we are making sure necessities like dental care and affordable medication is within reach for more families, said Monty McNaughton, Minister of Labour, Training and Skills Development. The future of work is here, and our government is working for workers to make sure no one is left behind. Most workers in Ontario with full-time, permanent jobs have medical insurance and dental coverage. In comparison, less than a quarter of those who work part-time or in precarious jobs have similar benefits, which means these workers and their families often have to make difficult choices between their health and other necessities like food and shelter. Independent contractors, low-wage workers, newcomers, younger workers, and racialized people are less likely to have workplace benefits. The proposed advisory panel will look at how benefits could reside with the worker and provide recommendations on how best to administer the new program. This could be especially beneficial for digital platforms, gig workers, and others in the service industry who switch jobs more frequently. Establishing this panel was a key recommendation in the Ontario Workforce Recovery Advisory Committee's final report. The committee was responsible for several items in the government's recent Working for Workers legislation, including being the first province in Canada to introduce the right to disconnect as well as the banning of non-compete clauses. As we build back a better Ontario, our government is working for workers by taking steps now to ensure our province remains the best place to work, live, and raise a family.
There are those. Out there in the winter days are those who love the brightness, those who really enjoy the freshness of the air. They keep fit by jogging in shoes with good traction to keep safe in the snow and ice, so they can get out there. Or these types go for walks to look at the white blanket of snow embracing everything from trees, bushes, and lawns to the neighbor's car and house. While another variety stay inside the coziness of their home, looking through their windows, finding things to appreciate in this time. In soothing calm, they watch the sparkling of the snow, soaking in the sense of purity of it all. Maybe the children are playing in it, riding their sleighs down nearby hills, or in the newly cleared laneways, if they are long enough, or building snow figures or forts in the yard. They see a kind of cleansing, so much brightness, so much good in this kind of change. Then some, they see snow as work, as inevitable dirty slush, awkward driving conditions and slow traffic getting to work and back home. They see potential slippery ice, liability issues for business, and they anticipate gloom on the faces of family, neighbors, and patrons in their places of work. Instead of the beauty of the light refracting through the irregular shapes and sizes of icicles hanging from the edges of the roof, like icing trimming a cake, they see a chore. The task is removing these winter stalactites in an effort to fight the invasion of weather as part of their environment. While there may be the necessary effort of removing icicles from over any walkways and doors, The pessimist sees the chore as involving the entire building in order to erase the reality of difference. Too bad. So sad. So what's the difference between the two experiences? Clearly, it is the compulsive need for control over other things, as opposed to the liberty of embracing the truth. There's a simple reality. Things change. And then those things change. And then, well, you get where I'm going. Things change, and fighting them altogether is an exercise in futility and exhaustion. For example, that quiet teenager or friend will inevitably, one day, have an opinion. And guess what? It's highly likely it will be somewhat different than your own, if not opposite entirely. Now, let's not be the type who will point a finger and label others as radical in their opinions out there just because they see something we don't. That's akin to those who don't like snow. It's driven by personal insecurity, a need to fearfully control others and stuff, the doom and gloom approach to life, the need to dictate rather than liberate. Or, of course, there are those who have the make room and bloom approach to life, yes, even in times of snow. There's a kind of balance here. I let life grow even in the snow kind of rhyme to it all. The actuality is, life is a mix of small things in our own lives we can choose to assert control over, larger things we can help change slowly or acquire the wisdom to know the difference, and things we adjust to, or should. Things like politics and news reports will always represent positions which will be unpopular to small sections of complainers. People will always have opinions of their own, no matter what social media tries to influence. And snow will always come and then go. Valentine's Day is coming next Monday, and there are those you love. So, will this be a day of commercialism contrived by business? Or will it be a day you remember to tell someone special, in some way, you really love them? The trick is to learn to see the sparkle in the snow, or breathe in deep any genuine nonpartisan good happening in political effort, and to appreciate the value of hearing another's opinion truly, making the honest effort to understand while still retaining your own in informed clarity. I guess the balance is it all work? Yes. Is that bad? No. While difference, change, or choice may be uncomfortable for a time, the work is growth for us inside, and that's always good. So let's grow positive. You may think it impossible, but there are those.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.